Pastor Adeboye, if fire want to start burning in this country true true like you said, like you, if true true say you see am say fire go burn for this country, na you that fire go first burn. Yes, e go start from you and that your church, e go burn all of una down because you during Jonathan regime that was selling fuel less than 200 naira, you came outside to protest with Tinubu and the rest to hijack this whole thing, to bring these evil people inside. But you now, that same person now, you are telling that your congregation now to fast and pray for Nigeria. They should keep praying. They cannot pray during Jonathan. No. They did not pray. You took action. You brought them out. Come and protest. But now that they are selling fuel, their life don't spoil. They are buying fuel. To survive is hard. You cannot tell them to come outside and protest. You cannot bring them now to ask for their rights. You cannot voice out for them. The only thing you are telling them is to pray, fast, pray, pray, pray. But you did not pray during Jonathan. You came outside to come and protest, to join them to hijack the country and put us in poverty. If fire go start for this country, it go start for you. Nonsense human being.
Hello people, you're welcome to another edition of News Trend. Today we are going to talk about something that is really disturbing, and it also affects everyone and affects us as a people, affects our culture, affects our morals. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the petition that was written against this popular TikToker known as Ogunsanwo Olumide John, also known as Seeking. There was a video that was viral where he was using very abusive words and language towards the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, that is Pastor Adeboye, and it has gone, this situation has gone really viral. He was arrested for it. He was petitioned. But Pastor Adeboye says he doesn't know anything about his arrest. But then a forum came up and said, yes, they are responsible for the petition because you do not do that. It seems that we are losing our values and our culture, as a people. Apart from the fact that, there's something called cyberbullying and other, we don't speak to our elders like that. So these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about today, of course, with my regular co-host and guests. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's just take it up from there. What do you think?
Well, at some points, people started asking questions and looking for answers when Seeking was arrested. He was actually arrested in Lagos and then was transferred to Abuja, specifically to the Federal Investigation Department that is headed by Deputy Inspector General of Police, that is DIG Dasuki Kalandachi. Why was he arrested? There was a petition by a group, the Concerned Christian Youth Forum, saying he insulted Pastor Adeboye. It is their right to write a petition.
Yes.
And it is the right of the police to act on the petition. It is also the right of the police to demand for a written statement from the accused. And it is also the right of the police to take the accused to court, which I'm told will be done this week, if they feel sufficiently convinced that he has done something wrong. We've had this debate in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years about the propriety of the Cybercrime Act 2025. Is it right or not to have a law like that? Especially in a country where we've challenged some laws that are more offensive than this. Is it not against the Constitution that allows for freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of gathering? People have asked that question. But like we've always said, and which the lawyers know, until when this law is successfully challenged and removed from our law books, it remains a law. And anybody, not even a journalist, is immune. We can go back in time and look at how many journalists have spent time in detention over this 2015 law. That is a critical point that a lot of those who go on social media don't consider. They see the social media as a space where you can say whatever you like. Now, I looked at that petition by the Concerned Christian Youth Forum, and something quickly jumped at me. How old is even this TikToker? When I checked, his Wikipedia page is saying he was born in the 1990s. And I said, that's fine. So let us assume that he was even given birth to in 1990. If he was born on January 1, 1990, that makes him 35 years this year. And we know, except of course you have not been reading the news, that Pastor Adeboye is 82 years old. So, and this is the point where we need to be able to say, see, we are losing it as a people.
Yeah.
This is more so in this part of the country, which is Yoruba land, where there is, it's not absolute, where there is a regard for the elders. You can disagree with somebody and not be rude. You can disagree with somebody and say it the way you feel without being offensive. Because I wonder how you say, how we are crediting with 35 years. It's not up to that from what I can see.
Exactly.
Will you say that an 82-year-old man is very stupid and foolish? In another video, which he did earlier, he also called him a boy, a stupid boy.
Pastor Adeboye, useless boy. The other day, I tell you, say shame they knock on your door. It is say I dey joke. Say the shame never they knock on your door like this. I tell you, I warn you, you know, yeah. During Jonathan, when Jonathan dey with the economy better pass this one like mad, you come outside though without your play card. Did they see your picture? You come outside, come dey protest. Now when una don bring down una corruption enter, you don't bring down your jagaba enter now. You dey tell us say we need prayer for restoration. You say make we dey thank God, say dollar no enter 10K. You see say he be jobless and a useless person. Now evil person una be for this. Like I don't tell una say una go receive and one after the other. This time I no need to dey shout again. I don shout pass. Now make I just dey here dey enjoy as una dey collect am. You no understand? You. Oh, ni soon. Adeboye abigilo gborukwe. I'm outside. Let's party.
Even if you want to get any form of clout, you don't go on that theory. That's number one. Number two, which was the one that people really picked issues with, was about the fasting, 100 days fasting. Even in the church, they tell you that fasting is not a must. It is only when you are able to do it, or when you feel, let me go churchy a bit, that pronouncement mixes with the faith in you. If it doesn't, if you believe, if the only reason you are fasting is because the pastor said so, you are not making anything out of it.
But most people, that's why.
Yes, but in good churches, they will tell you, once your health, your faith can't carry it, please don't. So, I don't know which church he attends, but obviously he doesn't attend with him. Because there are people who are doing this fast. And from what I learned, even this year's fast has option. You can do what in this part of the country we call biribiri, which is white fasting, for 30 days. Instead of doing the 100. Some people have stopped the fasting now because they did the 30 at once, 30 days at a go. Those who are doing the 100 will fast from midnight till 3 p.m. every day. We don't need to go into all the...
Biribiri 30 days. Is that possible?
Yes.
Really?
People have done it. Some are finished. Yeah.
Without eating, without...
Just, it has its own whatever prescription for it. That's not even the issue now. But it's the fact that the church said this, and those who can do it are doing it. I agree with you when you come to me. I also do it. And you say, you disagree with this man of God. Because when President Goodluck Jonathan was in power, he protested against him. But now that President Bola Tinubu, who is his kinsman, is in power, and things are not going as planned, but not to use the word foolish and stupid.
No, that was
There's a way you can, we say that there's a way you can tell a man, you can tell a man to go to hell, and he looks forward to that journey. Really? There's a way in which you do it. You don't need to come out and everything, every value that your race stands for, you rubbish it completely. Let's leave the law aside. Can Sikin say this to his father?
Exactly.
Can he do that? So, I like what these people have said. They said, let's begin to do a reorientation of our values. Because it's one of the things that we lost that has gotten us here. A few days back, we were talking about these values. And I said, I remember those days, not even so long ago. We were talking of about year 2000. That's how many years back? 25 years ago. When I drive from Abuja to Lagos, sometimes as early as 4, 5 a.m., I leave, and on that road, you see people who put their goods by the roadside, yam and all the rest. Not covering it, and they go home. But they steal.
They should not try that one.
Those are part of the things that we have lost.
Yes.
And which is what has gotten us to where we are. Our leaders have become so greedy because we have lost that value of contentment. We had it in this country. We had it. And then we are losing it and losing it the more because some people feel that the social media is a place where you can become a loose cannon. Whether we accept it or not, like I said when we began, that cybercrime law is there.
It's there.
There is no running away from it.
I think people need to be more aware of that.
More aware.
It is actually...
That there are sections, that there are sections there. Leave RCCG out of it. Let's go back. Because people came and said, it's all about Pastor Adeboye, it's all about the church. Adeboye and Very Dark Man. Nobody senior themselves, so they are both in their field where they are playing. But Very Dark Man was taken in for questioning, for cyberbullying. Remember, we still have the issue involving, what's the name of our big musician, who is Burna Boy.
Burna Boy. Yes.
We still have his own issue too with Speed Darlington. So when we need to get down to business, we should argue fairly. I'm sure, and I'm convinced, except people even go out of their way to call the attention of Pastor Adeboye to these videos, he wouldn't have seen it.
Exactly.
He would not have seen it.
Yes.
So if somebody has not seen something or has even just waved it aside, how would you have written a petition? But it is about us knowing that this law exists and that we should not turn the social media space into a place where we begin to degrade our country, our culture, and our people.
And our people.
It's important. And that's why I said we need to read that part of I'm going to leave you to read it. The latter part of that petition, I don't know if it's open there, where James told newsmen, the latter part has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs to the end, where you have James said, I want you to read that part so that our people can hear it.
Okay, where he said that
this act of brazen cybercrime, have you seen it now?
This constitutes a grave violation.
Please, just start from, I want you to go some 5 paragraphs up, not just the
Yes,
where you have James said.
Where he said this act of brazen cyber harassment is not only reprehensible, but also strikes at the heart of our cultural norms and values. It undermines the crucial principle of respect for elders that is deeply embedded in our society. The phenomenon of moral degeneration is reaching unprecedented levels, challenging the very fabric of our values. Christian leaders and elders deserve the utmost respect as they represent wisdom, experience, and our cultural legacy. This constitutes a grave violation of Nigerian cybercrime law, specifically Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Prohibition, Prevention, etc. Act of 2024 as amended, which criminalizes cyber harassment and makes it punishable by imprisonment. So if you didn't know, now you know.
Unless this case is withdrawn, this man is very close to going to prison.
It would be nice to see that so that other people can.
No, I don't even want this to happen to him. He's a young man.
A young man who is using his mouth anyhow.
That is why we need to be able to bring them back home to know how to speak. Public speaking should not be about abuse.
Yes.
It is about learning how to tell a man to go to hell. And the man looks forward to that journey. Just like what I said.
Yes.
I can say to Pastor Adeboye that I disagree with you, that you led a protest against the government of former President Goodluck Jonathan and not leading one against this government. I don't need to call him stupid and foolish.
It is very unnecessary.
That's unnecessary. That's even rude.
It is rude.
Leave the law aside, like I said earlier. Leave it aside. Will he say that to his father? Or to anybody in his own family?
Yoruba.
And he's Yoruba. What still? That's what we are saying. You need to learn that this tool can make or mar you.
Yes.
And the way he ended that video, it's like, so he has opened the floor now, let them begin the fight. And I'm wondering, do you think you are...
Why are you fighting?
you want to abuse him some more? Please go ahead. You can do it from wherever you are. But our people need to learn that you don't say things that are abusive, things that you can't verify, things that you can't substantiate. I mean, so many of it like that when you read the law. We've seen, let me give you one example. A journalist published a story some years back about a bank chief. So, they took him in for cybercrime. Some people, in solidarity, went and republished that story. They were not the originators. But for even republishing, they were taken in. Because it's a crime. Especially where the language is wrong and the information not something you can substantiate. So people need to go and learn. And we need to return Nigeria to the path of wisdom.
Yes, so I think this even is more prevalent in the younger generation because, I remember that, okay, the older generation, we growing up, because respect is a big part of our culture, like the very
Big
fabric.
one,
Yes.
huge. That's
Very
the
proud.
art
And
of
we're
it.
even known,
It's at the
we're
art
known
of
for
it.
it that especially Yorubas that are very respectful, and they know they can. But now, these days, this younger generation, they feel, I don't know if
The
it's
ones you call Gen Z.
the Gen Zs. I don't know if they feel like it's with the advent of social media or tech. I don't know, but they just feel like
at
they
some
can
point,
speak
just say
their
anything
mind,
and
just
get
say
away with it.
anything, and just,
At some
and I
point,
don't know where
people
that's
used to
coming
create
from.
this impression that, yes, in Nigeria, when you look at it, the northern people, they are very respectful. The people from the Yoruba land, but the Igbos are not. And I live with the Igbos, and I saw that was a wrong insinuation to make. I live with them. I have them as friends. They can have issues. You can have issues with them. But those of them who have not lost their culture, who have not lost their value, they respect those who are older than them. They do. So we don't have this impression that it's not the whole of Nigeria. No, it is not everybody, like we say in our part of the country, that will wake up and kick his parent off the bed.
Yes, that's what they say.
And say, get up. It's not everybody. Some people do it. But you can't generalize on that. We are respectful people, like you have said. And no matter how bad things have degenerated, no matter how bad you feel about some people, religion is not a compulsion. You are not. If I attend your church, you can't force me to fast. You will say it, I will do what I want. It's my belief. In one part of the world, we say the faith of the father does not help the child. The child must develop his own faith too. I left an old generation church to move into a new one because I found that the things they were doing there no longer appealed to me. But that didn't mean that the church died. It's still there.
Exactly.
And it's growing. And I don't have to make an issue out of it. That you people, old generation people, I don't need to. I just go my way quietly. If you say I should fast for 100 days, then I will sit down and I will consider my health. I will consider the benefits of fasting. Even take out the spiritual. First, take it out. Take out the spiritual benefits. Even fasting, read it up. Has benefits for your own health.
Yes.
It's not extreme fasting. Some people can do without food for a very long time. I used to tell people, in those days when I started journalism, I can do 3 days at a stretch without sleeping, not winking. But I can't do 24 hours now. In fact, I don't see myself the way I alternate work now, doing 10 hours without finding a way to close my eyes if the opportunity comes. So you have to look at your own body system and consider everything. Some people don't fast. I know that in some churches, without mentioning names, they say to you, okay, if your health does not allow you to fast, what are the excesses that you have that you can curb during that period? I have a friend.
It's not just food fast, yes.
Yes, I have a friend. When it is Lent period, she doesn't take beer. That's her own way of fasting because on a day, she can take up to 6-8 bottles.
Okay.
So for that
really
period,
a fast.
she uses beer to
so
fast.
Even social media can be a fast.
Yes. I know. I have friends who, as the Muslim fast is starting, they will tell you, oh boy, if you want to reach me, call or send text messages. Don't try to reach me on WhatsApp.
See no evil, hear no evil, yes.
So when you now dabble into issues that you barely have an understanding of, and you are trying to injure the feelings of others, because it's not only Pastor Adeboye he has attacked now. He has attacked the entire Christendom.
Exactly.
And go back to that name, please. Go back and read that his name again. Not the alias. Go back.
Ogunsanwo.
Olumide. End it. John. Done. That's his
So
name.
he's a Christian.
So some things don't just, if you no longer believe in that religion, just stay away. Just like we always say, the fact that I'm a Christian does not mean that I must say ill of anything that the Muslims are practicing. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that as a Christian, if I have money and somebody wants to go on Hajj, I can't sponsor that person. Vice versa. We must watch the things that are touchy, issues that can cause problem. If he had done this in a place where fatwa could be placed on it, he would have been in trouble by now. He would have been in trouble, and that would become another issue for the country. People should be sensitive.
That's the word.
So that we don't create chaos and then run foul of the law. I pray, I wish that he has learned his lesson, and also pray and wish that this forum, before this matter becomes IGP versus Sikin, or becomes federal government versus, they quickly withdraw this and let there be peace. Because once it becomes a federal case, it's going to go on. Except, of course, after a while, they can go to court and say they have resolved to settle out of court. But once it starts, the process must go on. And that will mean this young man spending days in prison, in detention.
Well, I'm not wishing he spends days in detention. I don't wish him bad. But then I want, for justice to take its course, and then for people to be aware and know that, yes, this is a thing. So somebody else will not wake up tomorrow morning and feel like, oh, me too, I can do it. I can talk to anybody anyhow. I can do anything. There's no law. So that
no repercussion.
Exactly, no repercussion. So you know that it is actually a crime. And apart from it being a crime, let's go back to the way it was. Let's respect our elders. Let's uphold our culture. Let's not lose everything. We may be losing our mode of dressing. Yeah, mode of now. Okay,
we should not lose our mode of brain.
Exactly. Because that is going to affect our thinking. So because when we begin to lose all of these things, then we are losing ourselves as a people. So
completely.
It means that everything about us now is from somewhere else and belongs to somewhere else. So we lose our identity, completely, so to say, and we should not be. So
we shouldn't be.
I don't wish him bad, but then I want this to be a stamp. I want it to stay, and I want other people to learn from it and know that, yes, this is something that should not be done, or this is something that we should watch out for. So I hope that you guys have also learned that there's a crime. There's a crime. There's cybercrime. Don't just think because you have data and you have a phone, no. There is a crime. 2015 years, there is a crime. I mean, there is a law.
Cybercrime law.
Cybercrime law. So please, let's beware. And like he said, there are ways for you to tell someone to go to hell, and the person will be looking forward to you. I would like to hear that. So you can express your grievance without being disrespectful. Be just put the other person in regard. Honor the other person. You can make your point. That is why there's freedom. That's the part of the freedom of speech. You can make your point. You don't have to agree to what somebody else says. Yes. But then when you start being insultive, then you are infringing. You are causing damage. So we should watch out for that. Let's be a better people. Everything is not government. This one is not government now. Let's each person do better, and as a whole, we are all better for it. And that's all we have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you've also learned one thing or two, at least. That's cybercrime law. You have learned that one. So like and share this video to people that you think should know about this. And also subscribe so that you get notifications when we come out with such videos, and follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. See ya. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.